everyone, this is Amy with Just Pleased as Punch, and today's project is this jumbo-sized tote bag that I made using 2 sheets of DSP. And I'm also going to show you how to make the cute little tag that I've attached to it. So to make this project, you're going to need 2 identical sheets of DSP. Make sure that whatever DSP you choose, you have one side that you want to use for the body of the bag, and then the other side is going to be the cuff that you flip over that's going to make your top. This paper doesn't matter what direction you put it in for either side, but if you have paper that has writing on it or a pattern that you want to, go a certain direction, just be careful that when you flip it over to make the cuff that your pattern is going the right direction. Okay, the other supplies that we're going to use to make this project are our stamp sets. We have Butterfly Basics and Botanical Blooms. Butterfly Basics, we are using the Sending Wishes Your Way sentiment. And Botanical Blooms, we're going to be using the little inside of the leaf here for the stamp set. We are also going to be using some framelits to make our little flower for our tag. The framelits that we're going to be using are the ones that coordinate with the Botanical Blooms. So we have the flower, this is the one that pops up, and then we have the little leaf, and then we have the one for the flower center. You're also going to need some ink that coordinates with your paper. We have Mossy Meadow, Mint Macaron, and Basic Black. And you're going to need a sponge dauber this time, and this is going to be used to help give dimension to your flower. And our ribbon to attach our tag, I use the 1/8 inch gold ribbon from Stampin' Up. And then you're going to need some adhesive and some dimensionals. And you're also going to, I use the ice rhinestones for the center of the flower. So whatever embellishments you choose for your tag. So that's what I use. And just some other things, my paper piercer. Oh, of course, our trio punch. This is used to make our tag, and I love this punch because it's got 2 different choices for doing corners for your projects, and then you have the little slit punch here that is for your ribbon, and I'll show you how to use that. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is get our paper all cut and scored. So whatever side of the paper that you've chosen to be the top, if this is the top of my paper, I'm going to turn it and put the top into my paper trimmer, and I'm going to trim off 3/4 of an inch right here. Okay, this is going to be my handle, so I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm going to go ahead and move over to 9 3/4 inches at the top, so right here, and I'm going to score there, and then I'm going to flip it all the way around to the opposite side and score again at 9 3/4. Okay, so then we're going to turn it to the side. So we've got that first score line here and the second score line here that we've done. So now we're going to score the side of the bag, and the score lines there are going to be at 10 inches, 10 3/4 inches, and 11 1/2 inches. Okay, got our paper all scored. So now we're going to go ahead and fold over the cuff for the top of our paper. And I'm going to go ahead and take some tear and tape and run that across. And I want to mention this project came from Caroline Hallett, a very talented Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm in England, and I saw this project on Pinterest, and she created it, and she named it the Hallett bag after her last name, which I thought was really cute. So thank you, Caroline, for this idea and the inspiration. Okay, so this is the cuff of the top of our bag, and now we're going to go to the side where all the score lines are, and we're going to make an accordion fold. So on the line all the way over, we're going to fold down, and then on the second line we're going to fold back, and then on the third line we're going to fold back down. Okay, so that's the side of our bag. All right, and then we have one more score line that we need to burnish, and that's the bottom of our bag, like so. Okay, so now we've got that all done, and we need to do a little bit of trimming here. So I'm going to trim up on that first score line that runs all the way down the bag. I'm just going to trim up to meet this score line, and then I'm going to trim here. And then I'm going to just remove that little piece right there. We're not going to need that. Okay, so I've already got my other piece of paper that is identical. I've got that already scored and cut, and you know, the top folded. And I've gone ahead and I've run some tear and tape here. So I'm going to do that on this piece. Put some there. Oops. Doesn't want to tear. There we go. It's not wanting to cooperate today. Of course, every time on video I can't get it to tear like it's supposed to. There we go. Okay. Tear that off and get that ready. And then we'll tear this one off. Actually, I'm going to leave that on. I'm going to attach this one first. But anyway, I'm sorry. On one of your pieces, you're going to run another piece of tear and tape along the bottom. You don't need to do it on both, just on one. Okay, so let's go ahead and attach this first bag, this first piece to, if you lay the piece down here and your second piece here, make sure that you've got that. Actually, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to lay it down just so I know that I've got it in the right spot. All right, we've got that side done. And then we're going to do the other side, same thing. We're going to match those two sides up. Oh, come on. That is really sticky stuff. All right, same thing here. And you want to be very careful because tear and tape is super sticky and you're not going to be able to adjust it once you get it down without tearing your paper. Okay. All right, so that's our bag. We've got it all together, and I think I might have snagged that edge just a little bit when I was scoring. Like I said, be very gentle with your designer series paper when you're scoring. Okay, so these flaps, we're going to put the two end pieces in, and then we're just going to, and actually I can see I should have moved that, I should have put that here. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to run a second piece there. Actually, what I can do is I'm going to run a piece here. So when I close it, it's nice and tight and there's not going to be anything flapping open. Come on. Huh? It just does not want to cooperate today. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay. So close our bag. And then you can just take your hand and reach down inside and just make sure you've got it all smooth. Okay. All right, so now we're going to make our handle. We have our two pieces that we trimmed off the top, and we're going to attach them like so. I don't know if I want to go that way. I think I'm going to go, yeah, I'm going to go this way. Okay, the easiest way to do this is to put 2 pieces of tear and tape here. And you can see where you want your handles. You can measure if you want to. Trim that off so I have a nice clean edge. And I think I'm going to put that one right here. Okay, and then before you attach it, go ahead and flip it around and make sure that you've got your tear and tape at the same point. It doesn't have to be exact because your paper strips are actually wider, so you can move it to the side just a tad and it doesn't matter. And again, on this side, put a little piece there. All right, let's see if I can get these to cooperate and come off in a timely fashion. Oh, come on. Ugh. There we go. Okay, so we're going to take one of our handles and make sure we've got that lined up. And probably could move that over just a tad. There. And then on the other side, I'm not doing so hot with my tape today, but that is all right because this stuff is worth it. It's really, really sticky. All right, so then I'm just going to kind of press that down so I can make sure that this side, the handles are lined up so that they match the other side. And like I said, I probably would have put them a little bit further apart. I think I did on the other bag, but that's okay. Okay, so we've got our bag and we've got our handles all put together. All we have to do now is make our tag. Okay, for our first 2 pieces, we're going to do the Hello Honey and the Whisper White. And we're going to go ahead and trim, do our corners. I'm going to use this corner of the Trio Punch, and with my Whisper White, I'm just going to make sure I've got that in there nice and straight and punch all the way around. All right, and then for the Hello Honey, I'm going to use the other one and do the same thing. Okay, that part is done. All right, now we're going to make our flowers. So with our piece of old olive, get our little scraps out of the way. We use our Mossy Meadow and our leaf stamp, and we're going to stamp this twice. All right. Now we're going to need our Big Shot with our magnetic platform, bottom plate, and we're going to run through all of our remaining cardstock. So we have got the little piece for the black, and we're going to do 1 leaf at a time. We have to do 2 leaves, so we'll do one and then we'll do the other. Get that in there straight. And then we've got our flower. All right, now one trick for the black piece, I'm going to take a piece of wax paper and I'm going to fold it a couple of times and I'm going to put that underneath our black. And I'm going to run that through that way. And that just helps to cut that out because it's such an intricate little piece. it helps to cut it out a little bit better. I'm doing this backwards because I am right-handed, but that's okay. Okay. Run that through. And let's see what we've got. We've got one of our leaves all cut out, and we'll run the second one through in a second. Let's see. And our mint macaron flower. And that one actually punched out really nice. I didn't need my paper piercer after all. And then let's see how our black piece did with our wax paper. All right, now this is the one you may need your paper piercing tool, which I have laid down somewhere. Here we go. Let's see. Try to help that out a little bit. Yep, perfect. Just get the wax paper off of there. All right, see, that cut out beautifully. Okay, so then we're going to run the leaf through one more time on the other one. Get that lined up. And there we go. And perfect. Okay, so we're done with our big shot. I'll set that aside. And now we can start making our tag. Got all our little pieces here. Okay, so I need to sponge a little bit. I want to give this flower just a little bit of dimension. It's so pretty. I love how it pops up like that. So I took, I'm going to take my mint macaron ink, and I'm just going to grab a piece of scrap paper and set that under there. And if you take your sponge dauber and you just lightly tap on your mint macaron ink pad and go in the center, just lightly sponge around, and it'll give you a little bit of depth to your flower. And you'll see when we add the black on top, and then maybe a little bit darker in the center. Okay. All right, so let's see, a glue dot for our little center of the flower. And then we're going to do a dimensional on the back. And we're going to go ahead and put dimensionals on the back of both of our leaves. Okay. Now we just need to stamp our sentiment. I've got the sentiment from the butterfly stamp set, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp that again. Actually, I think I was going to do basic black for that one. We're going to use our basic black, but you could stamp it in probably the Mossy Meadow, and that would still be pretty too. My black is actually getting low, and I ordered a re-inker, but it hasn't come yet. My re-inker is out. There we go, sending wishes your way. All right. Let's put our little tag together. Where is my snail? All right. And I got a little bit of ink on there, but that's okay because it's going to get covered up by our flower. All right. Actually, before I put the flower on, I'm going to punch my little slot for my ribbon. So if I put that in there, just make sure that it's centered. And that leaves a slit for my ribbon. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our flower on. Oop. My glue dot. Let me put another glue dot on there. I think I needed think that one quite made it on there. There we go. All right, I've got that off. And there we go. And then our leaves. And I'm just going to kind of tuck those under. Like so. And I want my flower, that does not want to stay on, and I'm not sure why. That is really strange. Maybe it's because I've got a lot of ink on there and it's still a little bit wet. I didn't push very hard either. I'm just going to go ahead and give that a good push. Okay, let's go ahead and get our flower popped up there some. All right, and our iced rhinestones. These are so pretty and sparkly. They're just even prettier in person than they are on camera. We're going to take one of those and put it in the center there, and that's our tag. Okay, so now we're going to attach our tag to our bag, and that's going to be with our gold ribbon. So I'm going to cut a piece about the length I think I'll need. Run it through and tie a bow. All right, give those ends a little trim, and that's it. Okay, and you can use that for lots of different things. It's a nice size bag. It's actually probably the biggest bag you can make using some of the designer series paper. If you like my video, please click like and subscribe, and hop on over to my blog, justpleaseaspunch.com, and I've got all of the supplies and dimensions that you'll need to make your project. Thanks so much for visiting, and have a great day.